Contrary to what you might think, we always read our viewer mail here at Cheat. That explains the dazed and terrified looks you sometimes see on the faces of our production assistants. And it's also why this episode is dedicated to you, gentle viewer. We're taking requests on Cheat, and it starts right now. Cheat, the video game show where rules are a thing of the past, just like all the games featured on today's show. I'm Kristen Holt, and in this episode, we're all about you. Yes, you, wonderful gamer. You email us, you post on the forums, we've listened to you, and in this episode, we'll revisit the classics. We've got the best anthologies, Xbox Live downloads, PlayStation Network games, and Virtual Console titles. First up, we have Metal Slug Anthology. There is nothing like vintage. Vintage wine, vintage cars, and of course vintage side-scroller arcade-style quarter-sucking games just like Metal Slug. And if it's Metal Slug that you crave, then there is only one solution. The Metal Slug Anthology. This collection has every Metal Slug game release and then some. The POWs, the mummies, the aliens, and all the badasses you get to play, like Marco, Theo, and Tarma. Metal Slug Anthology for the Wii offers more than just the original experience. There are alternate routes, different control options, and unlockables. Not only is this the Metal Slug that you remember, but it has also been Wii-alized. The Wiimote Nunchuck action has added a new element that redefines the Metal Slug experience. The traditional Nintendo style is always the safest bet, if you want to be boring. But if you don't, go ahead and try something different. There's a variety of ways to approach control, like traditional or swing style. However, by far the best is to control movement and aiming with the nunchuck, and to jump and shoot with the Wiimote. Swing the Wiimote if you want to throw grenades. Go easy at first, or trying to avoid carpal tunnel syndrome. This anthology includes all of the original titles, Metal Slug 1, 2, X, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The titles also include a few alternate routes. For example, in Metal Slug 4, take the cavern path in the second mission to an underground lake. Now you can play the rest of the mission underwater and take out those annoying squids, floating mines, and swimming robots from the submarine. In Metal Slug 2, take the underground passage in Mission 3 to the mining caves and drill your way through the mining robots. Or find the secret machine gun in the mummy cave.
Heavy machine gun!
Choosing an alternate route will also earn you extra credits towards unlockables. And while we're on the subject of unlockables, here's the lowdown. Just keep hammering away at the never-ending stream of enemies. It may seem impossible, but dodging the enemy bullets does help. Amazing, right? Completing each game will give you credits with which you can buy hidden Metal Slug artwork and alternate music scores. And the best part? You don't even need to spend a single quarter. Well, that's one way to beat the slugs. 1993. Wired magazine is first published, the World Wide Web is born, and a little game called Doom was released. Well, now it's back on Xbox Live, and from the emails, it looks like a few of you have had problems with the final boss. Before the People's Champ starred in a movie based on this epic franchise, before you battled on a research center located on Mars, came one of the toughest, goriest, and biggest games of all times, Doom. And now this game can be downloaded on Xbox Live Arcade in all its 2D glory. Unto the Cruel, where you face all hell has to offer, is the final stage of the 4th chapter. Start off by immediately grabbing the shotgun in front of you and taking out the 2 imps. Just to the southwest of the starting point, a twitching corpse hangs. Approach it and hit A to unlock the secret area. Load up on some ammo, med packs, and a chain gun to boot. Now, move down the stairs and hit the switch to lift the door. There are many demons in this area, so use the door as a shield and let them come to you. After all, you are the guest of honor. Clear out this area and run to the right side. Behind the demonic wall lies a red key and a rocket launcher. Remember to conserve the rockets. They'll come in handy later on. Get back to the platform, open the red bars using the key you just acquired, and a Cacodemon will pop out. You can kill him with a few shotgun shells. However, using the chain gun will stabilize him and allows you to avoid his fireball. It's much easier that way. Flip the switch to raise the platform. Move to the other side of the hallway to locate another demon head. Jump in and teleport to the next area. Shoot the imp and the zombie soldiers. Go up the staircase and a Baron of Hell will come after you. Trust me, you can't miss him. Just like a big leaguer, he winds up before the pitch so you can dodge those pesky green fireballs easily. Use the shotgun to take him out. To the right of the ramp, there's a plethora of goodies on each plateau. Collect them all and head back up the ramp to the other side and use the lift to go down. The corridor is pretty small. Concentrate on the imp and the undead first. Now you have a little more operating room to kill this giant pink beast. Grab the yellow key from the pedestal. Behind it, a secret door leads you to a blur artifact, which makes you semi-transparent. Come back to the previous area and make your way right. Finish the leftovers and hop into the teleporter. Return to the platform once more and activate the yellow key. Behind that door is the final showdown. You will fight everything, including the flying meatballs and the Ghost Rider-esque flaming skulls. The final boss happens to be the Spider Mastermind, who looks like a mix of Krang from the Ninja Turtles and that gigantic tarantula machine from the Wild Wild West movie. There are two ways to defeat this monster. Head up the left ramp while picking off evil minions along your way and grab the plasma rifle. Now hide behind the middle pillar. Swing from left to right, shooting the mastermind. Once he heads over in your direction, run to the opposite side. This swinging tactic should pull the plug on his career. The second option is using the BFG, which of course is located right behind the spider, but you can't just walk up to it and grab it. Attract the enemies by moving to the left of the pillar, then quickly sprint around to the right and behind the boss. 4 shots should do the trick. Ah, good old text ending and a sweet picture. Take that, hell.
We'll be right back with cheats for Lemmings, Bonk's Adventure, and ToeJam and Earl when Cheats Viewer Mail episode continues. But first, here's a quick cheat for one of my favorite Wii Virtual Console games, Mario Kart.
You know, back in '97, if you wanted to punk your friends in some video games, Mario Kart 64 for the Nintendo 64 was it. Multiplayer action was never so much fun with up to 3 of your friends. But to keep the racer's edge, why not use a few tricks to leave your buddies in the dust? Press and hold the gas button right after the second light during the start of the race and leap ahead every time.
You're in G4's video game mashup. Now, cheat.
Welcome to the source for all the things you care about.
I love this show every frickin' day.
Attack of the Show, tonight at 7 and 11 on G4.
Welcome back to Cheat, the video game show that you help write. Our next request comes to us from Bobby in Tigard, Oregon. He starts off by screaming, "Kristen!" Seriously, Bobby, it's called the caps lock key, and you should try turning it off sometime. Anyway, Bobby wants some help with Lemmings. All right, Bobby boy, but remember, indoor typing, okay?
With the title character's fondness for self-destruction, Lemmings is a game that probably should have died long ago. Instead, it's had the tenacity to live on for a seeming eternity in the hearts, minds, and now hard drives of gamers around the world. Luckily, with the Cliff's Notes to one of the most difficult boards, Bomb Not Bash, you can avoid walking off a cliff. First, let 2 lemmings fall unimpeded. Make the 3rd lemming a miner shortly after he falls, and let him blaze a path to the lemming corral. Give the first of the 2 wandering lemmings a climber hat and umbrella. Leave the second one to happily walk off the edge, scooping up a plethora of umbrellas as he fulfills the lemming code of seppuku. In the meantime, your happy little climber will have scaled the wall. When he falls off the other side, make him a digger as soon as he reaches the small portion of floor that can be penetrated by the shovel. When the digging lemming makes it through the floor, he'll float down to the next level. Keep an eye on his progress and make him a blocker just after he lands. Here's where you really have to multitask.
Make sure the last lemming that falls from the portal builds a staircase above the hole to the lemming corral. He's got some important work to do. Make him a basher as soon as he gets to the wall. This will clear a path for the rest of his brethren. Give him an umbrella to make his post-spelunking plunge a pleasant one. He'll collect the remaining blocker ability, giving you the power to transform him into a lemming wall. In a final act of lemming martyrdom, make an exploding lemming just as he passes over the screw in the floor. He'll detonate near the flimsy wall, creating a freedom hole from which the remaining lemmings may joyfully burst forth. Give each one an umbrella for the fall. Your last move is to give one a pickaxe to clear the final path for the march towards sweet liberty.
Want to take this episode of Cheat with you anywhere you go? It's easy. Just browse g4tv.com/podcast for clips of this and your other favorite shows. We'll be back with Bonk's adventure tips after the break. But first, here's a quick cheat for The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Want to disappear for a while? Well, since old habits die hard, we'll tell you how to be a bit more inconspicuous in The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Enter the graveyard in front of the sanctuary in the Dark World and make your way into a small square of hedges containing a pile of rocks in the upper right-hand corner. Use your magic mirror to warp back to the light world and dash into the front of the tombstone to reveal a cave. Inside, you'll find the magic cape much earlier than you're supposed to. Just keep an eye on your magic meter and stay out of the girls' locker room.
I'm Layla Kaylee, and this is The Feed. Get ready to enter the third dimension courtesy of Regal Cinemas. The theatre chain CEO says he will continue to push for digital 3D projection, citing audiences who will pay a premium for the new technology. Directors James Cameron, Steven Spielberg, and Peter Jackson are all currently developing 3D features. And in gaming news, BioShock fans will get their wish. 2K Games told gamers it would release a special edition of the popular title if an online petition gathered 5,000 signatures. The special edition for Xbox and PC will hit stores this August. And finally, the US Postal Service wants your help selecting an official Star Wars stamp. Visit usps.gov to cast your vote. The winning stamp will be ready for licking on May 25th. Well, that's all for now. Visit us on the web at g4tv.com/thefeed. It's the only news you need to know. I'm Layla Kaylee, and you've just been fed.
Welcome back to Cheat. We've been rummaging through our big bag of viewer mail, and so far I haven't seen anything too scary. So let's press our luck and try another letter, huh? Kathy from Brooklyn, New York says, "Hey Kristen, tell me how to handle Bonk's adventure. P.S. Girl gamers rule." Heck yes we do, Kathy. I like your thinking. Now here's the tips you wanted.
Being hard-headed won't get you anywhere in life. Well, unless you're a prehistoric bald adolescent with anger management issues. If so, then your name is Bonk, and you like to kill delightful dinosaurs. Aw, how adorable! Now die! But getting through a 16-bit game is never easy. Here are some tips to beating Bonk's adventure. During the game, you'll encounter dozens of different enemies, dinosaurs that fly, dudes with funny hats, and axe throwers. However, there is a color code to these adorable suckers. Pink might not be your favorite color, but you'll come to love it. Kill the pink cuties, and they'll drop a piece of meat that can give you invincibility. Another friendly adventure tip is knowing when evil's about to spring on you. You see these cute little baby-faced treasure chests? Stick to popping the animated ones, and you'll avoid those creepy see-through springers. It's going to save lives. And speaking of lives, you can never have enough in 16-bit games. But don't worry, you'll earn plenty in levels 1 through 3. While swimming through the levels, you'll eventually reach a point where you zigzag up and down. Just take this level challenge as a blessing in disguise. Slide Bonk underneath the enemy and bust them up from below. Aided by the wall, all you have to do is time the fall and knock the sucker back up. Eventually, you'll get an extra life. Repeat as needed or until you've had a good cry. Despite its many dangers, the prehistoric world offers wonderful dining options. Chomp into that meat. You'll need all the protein you can get if you're going to kill more dinosaurs.
Stick around. We have more viewer-requested cheats after the break. But first, here's a quick cheat you'll be glad you know the next time you pick up Super Mario World.
Need to get a life? maybe 2. In the classic Nintendo platformer Super Mario World, you have the opportunity to up your living quotient at the end of each level. When you approach the moving finish line, wait until the last 2 digits of your remaining time match the tens digit in your stars total. So if you've got 26 stars, wait until the last 2 digits of your time are 22. If you have 41 stars, wait until the clock ends in 44. You can double your rewards by holding an object like a shell. At the moment of your triumphant finish, it will turn into another extra life. Who says you can't live forever?
Take G4 on the road. Download this show now as a podcast.
Welcome back to Cheats Viewer Mail Edition. So far, we've shown you cheats from Metal Slug Anthology, Lemmings, and Bonk's Adventure. Now, I could very happily go a full day without having to say the words ToeJam, but Richie from College Station, Texas, wants to find more presents in ToeJam and Earl. Okay, Richie, just because you're a Texas boy, this is for you.
Back in the day, 2 very funky aliens crash-landed on this strange planet we call Earth with one of the most unforgettably titled Sega Genesis games, ToeJam and Earl. When it comes to old-school hip-hop, these guys are the OGs. Well, maybe not. But your mission is to help our fine young MCs get back to their home planet of Funkatron. To do this, you'll have to fly around various islands in space and scoop up the missing pieces of their pimped-out space hoopty. Wait a minute, I thought they landed on Earth. To aid you in your planetary scavenger hunt, presents have been dropped all over the 16-bit landscape. Each box you pick up will hold an unknown treasure. The contents can range from money and character level-ups to weapons, food, and speed boosts. But remember, not all gifts are golden. Remember that sweater your grandma gave you last Christmas? Boxes of the same size, shape, and color all hold the same item, so after you open one for the first time, they'll all be labeled properly in your inventory screen. But we're cheaters, right? Right. So here are a few little secrets to help enhance your haul. On World 1, there's a secret island loaded with presents in the top right corner of the map. Use the Icarus wings, rocket skates, or inner tube to get out there and collect your bounty. Just make sure you have another method of aquatic travel to get back. If you use one of the same methods to travel to the bottom left corner, you'll find another small island with a hole in the center of it. Fall down it to enter World 0, where you'll find a hula dancer, a lemonade stand with an extra life, and a nice relaxing hot tub to wash away the stresses of the day. When you're done, just drop off the side, and you'll be transported back to the highest level you got to in the game so far. Talk about service! But me, personally, I think I'll hang around the hot tub.
And our final viewer letter of the show comes to us from John Walsh in Santa Monica, California. He writes, "Hey Kristen, I totally suck at video games, but I heard that A Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past for the Virtual Console is awesome. Can you help me out?" Sure I can.
Best Zelda ever. The Wii has been gracing us with our favorites from yesteryear since it launched. But the game Nintendo fanboys were waiting for was The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. This incredibly deep, top-down action game is just as much fun today as it was 15 years ago when it set the standard for all Zelda games to come. The gadgets, the gloves, the boots, the competing worlds of light and darkness, it all started here. Since we don't want to ruin your nostalgia, we'll skip the story walkthrough and instead give you tips on picking up some of the game's more overlooked items. After beating the second dungeon and getting the Power Glove, head to the northeastern corner of Hyrule to find the witch's hut. Go past her and toss the giant rock on the right side of her fence to open up a watery walkway. Follow the light blue path to the waterfall where Zora will offer to sell you his flippers for 500 rupees. Once you're seaworthy, go south over the waterfall and onto the landmass to your left to find a heart piece. But don't rush home just yet. Follow the river to the northwest from Zora's location to find the Waterfall of Wishing. Here, you'll be given the option of throwing some of your items into a pool. If you're honest about your actions, the fairy who inhabits the waters will upgrade your boomerang and your shield. The red boomerang is faster and has a longer range, and your new red shield can block fireball attacks. One more waterway to check is the river under the stone bridge near Link's house. Underneath, you'll find a friendly hobo willing to part with his last bottle to aid you in your quest. Another time to pause and further your foraging skills is after you beat the second Dark World dungeon and have acquired the magic hammer. In the Light World, grab the mushroom in the Lost Woods and bring it to the witch that you passed on your way to get the flippers. She'll tell you to come back later for something good, so let's pick up a few things in the meantime. Warp back to the Dark World and enter the clearing in the woods to the west of Link's house. You'll find a strange-looking creature that gives you a shovel and asks you to find his flute. Go to the bottom of the screen and use the magic mirror to warp to the Light World and witness a ghostly apparition playing the flute before he disappears. Start digging above the tree in the northwest corner of the clearing to find the flute. Now, warp back to the Dark World and play it for your new friend before he turns into a tree? Okay, whatever. The flute is now yours to keep, so warp back to the Light World and head into Kakariko Village. Stand in front of the weather vane and play the flute to release the bird from its stony prison. In return for its freedom, the bird will fly you to multiple locations across Hyrule whenever you play its tune in the Light World. With this kind of fast travel, you can grab the ice rod on the southeastern shore of Lake Hylia and the Ether Medallion at the top of Death Mountain in a matter of minutes. Much better than the Diamond Lane. By now, that mushroom brew should be finished, so get that bird to take you back to the witch's potion shop. Her gift for you will be waiting next to her assistant inside the house. With the magic powder in hand, fly back to Kakariko Village and go to the east to find the blacksmith's house. Use the magic hammer to pound down the peg nearby and fall into the cave below. Throw the magic powder on the red goo inside the chalice to awaken a large bat. After some complaints about losing sleep, he'll cast a spell that allows your magic usage to be reduced by half. May the way of the hero lead you to the Triforce, young adventurer.
And that's all you wrote. Keep those cards and cookies coming. Visit us on the web at g4tv.com/cheat or email us at cheat@g4tv.com. Until next time, I'm Kristen Holt, and you've been cheating.
Let the next Virtua Fighter tournament begin.
You'll enjoy this, trust me.
Gold Award, EGM. One of the best fighting systems ever made, IGN. 5 stars, Editor's Choice, GameSpy. Looks awesome and plays equally well, PSM. Virtua Fighter 5, the new look of real fighting. Available now on the PlayStation 3 computer entertainment system. Rated T for teen.
Freedom is power. The 197 horsepower Civic SI from Honda. Reverse your thinking.